In this video, we're going to be talking about how to shade round objects. So you can see here that I have a cherry that I've drawn, and the intention for this is to shade realistically. Now, shading realistically means that we're looking at the detail as well as the tone, also known as value of the object. So a realistic cherry would not be, I'm practicing my bad shading holding now, solid red. Okay, that's a cartoon cherry. That does not really exist in secondary or A-level art. Okay, we would like a cherry that has some range in tone, so some shadows and highlights. Now, if you're copying a picture, this is really important that you want to shade as accurately as possible to the picture. But if you're doing something a little bit more creative, then where you don't have a picture, you have a little bit more control over how you're going to do that. Now you can already see, let's just pretend that's the correct color, the difference between my really bad cherry and my really nice cherry. So what I would like to do is, first of all, determine where the light is coming from. I'm going to say the light is coming from that top corner, which means that the shadows are going to be on the opposite side. But as I get to filling in more space, do you see how I've changed the grip on my pencil to now have more rounded, gentle strokes? Now, I'm not sure if you've noticed that I'm going in the same direction. So I'm following the curve of the shape, adding a little bit more shadows as I go along, and I'm controlling the pressure on my pencil so that you can see now a really nice, neat, beautiful cherry drawing. So now I'm done with the main space of the cherry, and I've done it pretty light so that I can build color up on top of it. You can see that the direction of my shading is circular. I'm exaggerating this now so that you can see. But when we're making these circles, it means that we're not showing any scratchy lines, and the whole surface will be consistent. I'm still following the shape. Now on this side, I am having some difficulty getting that angle. I want to follow the curve of the shape, but my wrist doesn't really like that. So you can do two things. You can change the paper, or you can change yourself. So if I'm approaching it now from the upside down side, you can see that it's much easier for my wrist to follow the curve of the cherry. Now that is basic shading on a cherry. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, think about the other colors that you might find in the cherry. So maybe my cherry has a little bit of orange in it, and I might even be brave and see what happens if I put a teeny tiny bit of purple. So again, if you're looking at a picture, you can really challenge yourself a little bit by copying the colors as you see them in the image. And if you're not, then you have some freedom to have a little bit of fun here. Maybe I want the darker, shadowy areas to be more purple. And you know, fruit, they're not all like a perfect shade. So they change a little bit. So I think this could be quite interesting. A cherry that's maybe a little bit riper on one side than the other. Not too much. And I even have another shade of red that I can use. It's more of a orangey bit. So there you have it. Beautiful cherry.